Do you believe in places haunted by secrets? This is Delphi, Indiana, a small town where everyone knows their neighbor. And nestled in its heart, a sinister tale unfolds, the Monon High Bridge, a historic landmark. But on February 13th, 2017, this bridge became a silent witness to something sinister, something that would change Delphi forever. This is the story of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Two young girls full of life, laughter and dreams. This is the chilling mystery of the Delphi Murders. February 13th, 2017. A day that began like any other in Delphi. The sun was shining, birds were singing, and the air was filled with the promise of spring. But beneath the surface of this tranquil town, a storm was brewing. 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German, best friends, decided to spend their afternoon exploring the trails near the Monon High Bridge. Armed with Libby's phone, ready to capture the beauty of the day, they set off on their adventure. Libby's grandma dropped them off at the trailhead around 1:30 p.m. As Abby and Libby walked along the bridge, they were unknowingly being watched. The girls were expected home by 3:15 p.m. As the minutes ticked by and the appointed hour passed, a sense of unease began to creep in. Libby's grandma, her heart pounding with a mother's intuition, drove towards the trailhead. The phone calls went unanswered. The once familiar woods now seemed vast, dark and menacing. The sound of the wind rustling through the leaves, once a peaceful melody, now echoed with an eerie silence. Where were Abby and Libby? As darkness descended, the community of Delphi rallied together. Hundreds of volunteers, their faces illuminated by the cold light of flashlights, scoured the trails, calling out the girls' names. Hope flickered like a fragile flame, threatened to be extinguished by the growing fear. The question echoed in everyone's mind. What happened to Abby and Libby? Days turned into a nightmare. The relentless search for Abby and Libby took a tragic turn. On February 14th, just one day after their disappearance, their bodies were found. The news spread through Delphi like wildfire, leaving a community reeling in shock and disbelief. Less than a mile from the bridge, their lifeless bodies lay hidden in the woods. The peaceful tranquility of nature had been shattered, replaced by an eerie silence that spoke volumes. Delphi, once a picture of small-town America, was now forever etched in the annals of true crime. The question was no longer where are Abby and Libby, but how could this happen? Whispers of a killer. Evidence emerges pointing to a sinister act. As darkness fell over Delphi, a different kind of search began. Investigators, their faces grim, meticulously combed the crime scene. Every leaf, every footprint, every broken twig, a potential clue in the desperate hunt for the killer. This was no ordinary crime. The brutality, the audacity, it whispered of something sinister, something calculated. While the world mourned the loss of two young lives, the investigation intensified. The small town of Delphi was now a hub of activity, swarming with law enforcement, forensic experts and media from across the country. The voice from the bridge. A haunting audio recording sends chills down the spines of investigators. In a chilling twist, investigators revealed a piece of evidence that sent shockwaves through the nation. Libby, in a moment of incredible bravery and foresight, had captured something on her phone. A video recovered from Libby's phone showed a man walking towards the girls on the bridge. His face hidden beneath a hat, his intentions unclear. But it was the audio that sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned investigators. A voice, deep and raspy, echoed from the phone speakers. "Guys, down the hill." The words, chillingly calm, sent a wave of fear through the community and beyond. Could this be the break they needed? Could this voice lead them to the killer? down the hill. A simple phrase becomes a symbol of terror and a desperate plea for justice. Down the hill, two simple words forever etched in the minds of those who heard them. Words that spoke of power, control, and a chilling disregard for human life. Along with the audio, a sketch of the suspect, based on descriptions from witnesses and Libby's video, was released. The image, a chilling composite of evil, became synonymous with the Delphi murders. Tips poured in from all corners of the country, each one a potential lead, a chance to bring justice for Abby and Libby. But despite the overwhelming public response, the killer remained elusive. A community haunted. The shadow of the murders looms large over Delphi. Delphi, Indiana, a town forever changed. The brutal murders of Abby and Libby cast a long shadow over the once peaceful community. The bridge, once a symbol of connection and history, now stood as a chilling reminder of the tragedy. The laughter of children playing, once a familiar sound, seemed to fade into the background, the carefree spirit of small-town life replaced by an undercurrent of fear and uncertainty. Parents, once content to let their children roam free, now held them a little closer, their eyes scanning the streets, their hearts heavy with worry. The need for justice, for answers, burned brightly in their hearts. The weight of silence. Fear and speculation gripped the town as the investigation deepens. The investigation continued. The authorities, working tirelessly behind the scenes, remained tight-lipped. But in the absence of answers, speculation ran rampant. Whispers filled the local diner, theories exchanged in hushed tones. Every stranger, every unfamiliar face met with suspicion. The community, once bound by trust, now seemed divided by fear and doubt. The weight of the unsolved murders pressed down on everyone, creating an atmosphere of unease. False leads and dead ends. The search for answers takes a winding, frustrating path. The investigation dragged on. Weeks turned into months, months into years. Each new lead, each glimmer of hope seemed to lead to a dead end. The killer remained elusive, taunting the authorities, toying with their efforts. The audio recording, the sketch, the video footage, all tantalizing clues, yet none leading to a concrete suspect. Despite the advancements in technology, the use of DNA analysis and facial recognition software, the killer remained a phantom. The lack of answers only deepened their wounds. A glimmer of hope? Potential breakthroughs and renewed efforts offer a flicker in the darkness. Just when hope seemed to dwindle, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness. In 2021, investigators announced a significant development in the case. While details remained scarce, the announcement sent a surge of hope through Delphi and beyond. A new sketch, strikingly different from the first, was released. This time the suspect appeared younger, his features softer. The new information breathed life back into the investigation. The public, once again captivated by the chilling case, poured through online forums, sharing theories and scrutinizing every detail. The Delphi Murders. Today, the case remains unsolved, but the pursuit of justice continues. The Delphi Murders, a chilling reminder that some mysteries remain unsolved. Years have passed, seasons have changed, yet the questions linger. The killer remains at large, the puzzle incomplete. But the families of Abby and Libby have not given up hope. Their tireless advocacy, their unwavering belief that justice will be served, continues to inspire. The Delphi community, forever marked by the tragedy, remains vigilant. They refuse to let the memory of Abby and Libby fade. The pursuit of answers, the fight for closure, remains as urgent as ever. The town holds its breath. The arrest of Richard Allen sends shockwaves through Delphi and beyond. October 2022. 5 years after Abby and Libby's murders, a bombshell dropped on the unsuspecting town of Delphi. Richard Allen, a familiar face at the local CVS, was arrested in connection with the murders. The arrest, a culmination of years of tireless investigation and a testament to the unwavering dedication of law enforcement, brought a renewed sense of hope to a community long haunted by the unsolved murders. Could this be the break they had been waiting for? The news, a mix of disbelief and cautious optimism, rippled through Delphi. Richard Allen, a seemingly ordinary man, now stood accused of the unthinkable. As Richard Allen was booked into the Carroll County Jail, the world watched, waiting with bated breath for answers. Unmasking the accused. Who is Richard Allen, and what is his alleged connection to the murders? Richard Allen, a name now etched in the annals of true crime. But who was he before the arrest? To his neighbours and acquaintances, he was a familiar face, a regular at the local CVS. As investigators delved into his past, a picture began to emerge. A man leading a seemingly ordinary life, yet harbouring secrets beneath the surface. Witnesses placed Allen near the bridge around the time of the murders. What was his purpose there? Was it a chance encounter, a coincidence, or was it something more sinister? The investigation intensified, focusing on Allen's movements, his relationships, his past. A community divided. Reactions to the arrest range from relief to skepticism as Delphi grapples with uncertainty. The arrest of Richard Allen sent ripples of emotion through the small town of Delphi. Relief, skepticism, anger, and a profound sense of sadness intermingled as the community grappled with the news. For some, the arrest brought a long-awaited sense of relief. Finally, a suspect, a face to put to the horrors that had haunted their town for years. Hope flickered that justice might finally be served, that Abby and Libby might finally find peace. Others, however, met the news with a guarded sense of skepticism. The community, once again thrust into the national spotlight, found themselves navigating a complex web of emotions, their journey towards healing far from over. Section 4. Inside the prosecution's case. A glimpse into the evidence and arguments presented against Richard Allen. The trial of Richard Allen. A trial gripping the nation. Inside the courtroom, the prosecution meticulously laid out their case, presenting a narrative of circumstantial evidence, witness testimony, and a single damning piece of physical evidence. An unspent .40 caliber bullet found near the bodies of Abby and Libby became a focal point of the prosecution's argument. This bullet, they alleged, matched a handgun owned by Richard Allen, linking him directly to the crime scene. Witness testimony placed Allen near the bridge around the time of the murders. His demeanor, they claimed, was suspicious, his behavior erratic. The prosecution argued that Allen's presence at the scene, coupled with the ballistic evidence, painted a damning picture of guilt. Furthermore, the prosecution pointed to inconsistencies in Allen's statements to law enforcement. His initial denials, they argued, morphed into contradictory accounts, revealing a guilty conscience attempting to cover its tracks. As the trial unfolds, Delphi awaits answers, hoping for closure and accountability. The trial of Richard Allen proceeds, the world watches, holding its breath. The evidence presented, the testimonies heard, paint a disturbing picture, yet questions remain. Will the prosecution's case be enough to convince the jury of Allen's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt? For the families of Abby and Libby, the trial represents a long and agonizing journey towards justice. Each day in the courtroom reopens old wounds, yet their strength and resilience shine through. The Delphi community, forever bound by this tragedy, waits with bated breath for the verdict. The fight for justice continues. Section 1. The Internet Detectives. Online communities dedicate themselves to cracking the case, scrutinizing every detail and proposing theories. The Delphi Murders, a case that gripped the nation, also sparked an unprecedented wave of online sleuthing. From Reddit forums to dedicated Facebook groups, armchair detectives pored over every detail, determined to crack the case. Armed with open-source information, timelines, and publicly released evidence, these digital detectives meticulously analyzed every clue, every witness statement, and every grainy frame of Libby's video. Theories, ranging from plausible to outlandish, spread like wildfire, fueling the online conversation and captivating a global audience. While some online communities maintained a respectful and collaborative approach, others became breeding grounds for speculation, accusations, and the spread of misinformation. The line between responsible investigation and reckless conjecture blurred, highlighting the potential pitfalls of internet sleuthing. Despite the challenges, the online community played a significant role in keeping the case alive, generating leads and maintaining pressure on law enforcement. Their dedication, while sometimes misguided, demonstrated the profound impact of citizen sleuthing in the digital age. Section 2, The Shadow of Doubt. Despite the arrest, questions linger, fueling speculation and alternative theories about the killer's identity. Richard Allen's arrest, a pivotal moment in the case, did not quell all doubts. The prosecution's case, largely circumstantial, left room for questions, fueling speculation and alternative theories. Some questioned the strength of the evidence, pointing to the lack of a direct link between Allen and the girls. The absence of DNA evidence, a seemingly crucial piece of the puzzle, fueled skepticism about his involvement. Online forums buzzed with alternative theories. Some pointed to other individuals seen near the bridge, their presence unexplained. Others explored the possibility of a wider conspiracy, suggesting that Allen might have been involved but not acting alone. The shadow of doubt, fueled by unanswered questions and the desire for a more concrete resolution, continued to loom large over the case. While Richard Allen awaits trial, the search for answers, for the complete and undeniable truth, persists. Section 3. Delphi's uncertain future. The murders leave an indelible mark on the town as its residents strive to heal and rebuild while seeking justice. The Delphi Murders, a tragedy that shook a small town to its core, left an indelible mark on its residents. The healing process, slow and arduous, is interwoven with the pursuit of justice. The bridge, once a place of carefree joy, now stands as a solemn reminder of the lives lost. Delphi's future remains uncertain, forever marked by the tragedy. But amidst the grief, there is a glimmer of hope for justice and healing. Section 1. A town holding its breath. The trial unfolds, leaving Delphi and the world on edge, awaiting a verdict that could bring closure or deepen the mystery. The trial continues. Days turn into weeks as the prosecution and defense present their cases. The courtroom, a battleground of facts, interpretations, and legal strategies, becomes the focal point of Delphi's anxieties and hopes. Each piece of evidence presented, each witness called to the stand, adds another layer to the complex narrative of the Delphi murders. The jury, tasked with deciphering the truth amidst a sea of information, carries the weight of a community, a nation desperate for answers. Will justice be served? Will Richard Allen be held accountable for the murders of Abby and Libby? Or will the shadow of doubt, fueled by unanswered questions and the complexities of the case, prevail, leaving Delphi to grapple with a truth that remains elusive? As the trial unfolds, Delphi holds its breath. The world watches, waiting for a verdict that could bring a sense of closure, a measure of justice, or deepen the mystery, leaving a community forever scarred, forever searching for answers in the shadow of the bridge. Section 2. The long road ahead. Regardless of the outcome, the quest for healing and the fight to honor Abby and Libby's memory will continue to shape Delphi's future. The verdict will mark a turning point for Delphi, but the journey towards healing and peace will be long and arduous. The families will continue to navigate grief and loss, Their strength and resilience inspire the community. Delphi will carry the weight of the tragedy, but also a glimmer of hope. The pursuit of healing and understanding will shape Delphi's future. Abby and Libby's memory will guide the community towards a brighter tomorrow.